Hey guys, so I just got out of 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I'm going to be as vague as possible with the story because the marketing campaign for this film was very vague, so I'm not going to spoil anything. All I'm going to say is what the trailer revealed, and that 3 people are stuck in a bunker, and the world around them seems to be gone, and they need to somehow survive and kind of get to know each other. Now, John Goodman, he is the main star in this film, and he steals the show by far. You don't know what to think of his character at all times. And I love those type of characters where they're unpredictable, and you don't really know their motives until it kind of fleshes out on its own, which leads to the script. The script does have a couple problems, but I loved how realistic the dialogue was. There are a lot of cases in the film where you're almost thinking, wow, like this is something someone would actually say during this type of situation. So in that manner, I loved the film. But I also give props to the marketing campaign of the film for making it so mysterious, where I've also oftentimes critiqued trailers for revealing too much. In the film being very mysterious, at least the trailer for it, I appreciate it much more. I loved also the production design of the film. It felt very small, almost independent made, even though it had, a big studio backing it up. The score for the film was also good for what it is, but the sound of the film, I really have to say I was impressed by, because oftentimes films have been critiqued for being not loud enough, or being too loud, especially with today's cinema. But I liked the fact that this film was loud during intense scenes, and then more quiet, more nuanced during scenes of dialogue. That way it made you be able to appreciate the loud scenes even more. So it's just a little fun fact. It reminded me of Drive in a lot of ways. But with all these positives and all these appreciations for the technical aspects, I do have to say there are a couple negatives. For one, although this is a slick-looking film, I didn't like the first couple minutes because the camera shots felt off. The usage of shaky camera just felt very off, because I get what they were trying to go for, the intensity of it. But truth of the matter is, the rest of the film was very fluid, and even during intense scenes, it was fluid. So I just didn't like that part. I also have to say, and I'm giving a shout out to my friend John Shields, a really good friend of mine, for saying this. I felt the final 20 minutes just really fell flat. For what the film was going for in the other hour and 25 minutes or so, versus the last 20 minutes, felt almost tacked on. And I get what they were going for, but for me, it just didn't fit. And that's all I can really say without spoiling the film. Now, with that said, this is definitely a film very much so well worth watching. You should definitely see this in theaters and go into it knowing as little as I did, and I think you will like it. So I will be giving 10 Cloverfield Lane a 4 out of 5-star rating. This is definitely worth your time, and if you haven't done so already, guys, hit the subscribe